Hi everyone, it's Karen. Thanks for stopping by if you've been here before, and if you're new, welcome, and I hope you like what you see. I had made an angel for a friend of mine whose brother passed away, and a lot of people wanted a video to show how I did it, and so that's what we're doing. I did do a couple of things because I don't know how to edit, so I did a couple of things that were going to take a while to do, but it's really easy. So if you don't get it, I will do it and have somebody somewhere edit it for me. So I'm going to put you down and just explain what I did do. Okay. So the first thing I did was I used a light bulb. This is what I use. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. And you know, it's good to find ways that we can, you know, do some things with trash that's just going to go to the landfill anyway. So the first thing that I did, maybe I painted it, but I don't think you had to. But you're just going to, this is paper clay. And I have the package I can show you in a bit. And you always want to keep it covered because this stuff dries out so quickly. So what we're going to do is we want to cover the top, and basically we are trying to just make it one and cover up this screwed in part, if that's what you want to call. Anyway, so you just put the clay on and squeeze it, and what we're going to do is go down to about here, and that's really this whole part is just trying to get it down. And I just kind of roll it and then put it in the palm of my hand and just roll it. I can't see if I'm in frame here. I'm just going to tilt you up a tiny bit so I can see. All right, so this is what I did. So then when you get down here with your finger, you're just going to kind of blend it in. This could use a little bit more, but and once you have it all mushed in like that, then you're just about ready to go. Well, the problem is that when you do that, now we have to wait for the clay to dry. And it really depends on how thick that you put it. I also like to paint it while the clay is wet, because the clay will shrink. And if you put the chalk paint on, it kind of will all stick together. You might get a few cracks, but you just paint right over them. And we have so many steps going on top of this part that no one's ever going to know. So anyway, once you do all that, and it's really just what you're looking to do, because you're going to sand it anyway. So if it's not perfect, it's fine, because the sanding will make it look a lot better. All right, so that looks about good. And then, like I say, you just want to kind of bring it down. And then as it dries, we're going to sand right over this seam. So you don't want, like, this has a lot on the top that we don't need. So we're not looking for a really thick piece of clay on top of that. We're really just trying to hide the top and just like try and blend it as best that you can. So I just don't want to leave it wet because I already have the next part done. Just because it was so easy to do, I don't want, but it would, like, this is like a project that hurry up, wait kind of project. And this is definitely one of those. So, and the more you fuss with it, the better, because it's less sanding on the other end once it's dry. Okay, so there you go. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to pour the resin to make the wings. This is the wings and feathers mold. And I did make these already. These are clay. And it basically is just down to preference. If you want the resin or if you just want to use the clay, either way is right. I kind of was out of resin and just kind of poured these, but if you can see, it's still thin, which is not a big deal because we're going to paint over it anyway. So because this is smaller than, we don't want the wings that long. Straighten you out. Because they're just too long for the light bulb. So what I did was I take some clay, and basically I'm just building a dam right here. And you want to try and make it wiggly so that it does look kind of like a feather. So we can have that done. And so I ran out of what I had for these little ones. This is called Amazing Casting Resin. It comes with a part A and part B. You can get it at any craft store and on Amazon. I think Amazon is like $3 more. It should be between $8 and $11. So what I just did was purchase this big guy, and it's Fabricast. I got it in Christmas time at some point. It was on sale. It's normally for both bottles $80, which is kind of a lot, but if you're going to use it, it's definitely worth it. So I did this the other day, and don't tell my husband, but I spilt it, went onto the hardwood floors. I was a little nervous about that, but I was able to clean it up, and you can't tell. So I also buy from Amazon these little, they call them like medicine cups, like what you would find with like cold medicine for a kid to measure it out and see. Oh, I'm gonna do that. So anyway, you want to pour the same amount, and then you don't want to combine them till the last minute because they start working real quick. And I am going to put on glasses for this part. All right, so I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to put this into another container so I can just keep filling it. So if anybody has ideas for that, that'd be great. So I'm going to just pour 1 tablespoon, which I think should be plenty. Let's see. Oh, no. Because as you can see, it's really hard to just keep it in the little cup. It likes to bounce around like that. All right. So that went on my pants, even though I wore a little apron, and then just clean it up. It really is not a big deal, but definitely the smaller bottles are much easier to use. All right, so this is 1 tablespoon. So we are done with this one. I also recommend taking your rings off because I did spill it because of the big jugs. I spilt it on my hands, and they got stuck to my finger. So I'm not exactly sure how the ring is doing. I cleaned it as best as I could, but we'll have to see. I think that I need just another little drop in this one. All right, if I get, let's see. All right, now we have a tablespoon of each. And I'm going to wipe that up before I pour it. So I have another video from a while ago where I use light bulbs, just to reuse them, really, just to make sure that, you know, if you get something you don't have to send to the landfill, I think that's a great thing. So we're just going to mix these two together. And if the only thing you have to worry about is if you mix it together, you got to mix it right when you're ready to use it, because it starts to get warm. And once it does that, it will harden before you can put it in. So I don't know. This goes from like really cloudy, and then it's like orangey, but you can tell when it goes to clear after you mix it. So now we're just gonna pour And it definitely does get warm. So, and if it overfills and spills out, it's not a problem. We can just peel it or cut it off after we're done. So I definitely recommend doing this before, you know, maybe even before you paint your light bulb. And you don't necessarily have to paint the light bulb, but it'd be good. So for the halo, I use the number 0, and you just don't want to spill it all over. And these IOD molds like tell you on it, on the newer ones, I guess, how much you need of the liquid resin or how much you need for the clay. And I never use that, but what I try and do is kind of just use whatever's left to fill another mold, which this was not the best idea, but what else am I going to do with it? All right, so what's really strange is the bigger the mold, the quicker it hardens. And I think it's because you're trying to get, when you pour it, there's more area to lay out and heat the resin up. So anyway, while that's happening, this is one that I painted, used 2. And then I sanded them down. And that's really the only thing you have to do with these. And then now that I use super glue, mainly because, this brush got hurt. Mainly because I am moving my craft room upstairs to one of my children's old bedrooms because, cross your fingers, they're all moved out. And just, like it to stay that way. Sorry, I'm looking for a brush because that one got a little bit crisp. Open this. Oh, there we go. And you can use as big of a brush as you like. And if I do like to heat the clay to help it dry and the paint. Now, if you heat the paint, it does have a tendency to crackle, which is also a really cute look also. So it depends on anything that you really want to do. So anyway, that's this. And I will leave this to dry. And what I do kind of is put it to the side in like a cup to let it dry up. And this I already had one coat on, so I'm just going to put one more. And then I'm going to show you how to make a little seam where the head meets the light bulb, which sounds really weird, but. And we're going to put so many layers of wax, and so you don't really have to worry about painting it, but I just use what's left on my brush so that it's not wasted. Put that there. The other things that we're going to be using are, let's see, of course they're way over there, a clear wax, a white wax, and a black wax. And basically, it really is just how dark you want it. We're also going to need our gold. I always need the gold wax. And one of my little, you don't want little globs of glue that are falling off. And as you can see, this is heating up. Now, this casting resin, the big bottles, dries cream colored. The smaller, amazing casting, that dries white. It really doesn't matter. The only thing that is just preference. I'm going to paint it white, so it doesn't matter to me. And I actually, these that I made are clay, and I just really like the resin better. I feel like these could break, and I don't think they will, but I just have, it just seems like they're going to. But before we use our wings, we are going to take a small piece of clay. And like I say, you can hit it with your heat gun to dry the paint, which I think I will real quick. Oh, it's got a big blob on the top of her head, not a he. It's a her head. So you just want to kind of get rid of that. And you can always sand it if it's not as nice as you would like it. And like I say, it's just really, I mean, if you're busy and you're going back and forth, this is a great craft because you just get something, just needs to sit and dry, and you go do what you were going to do. So then I take the clay, actually I like it thinner than this, and you just kind of roll it out like a little snake. And then you're just going to go around at the seam and fill that in. And again, this is just preference. You can make it thick. On the one I just made and gave to my friend, I made it, he just passed away at Christmas time. So I used a little mold that made holly and put that up around the neck. These I'm not going to make Christmas. So you can make little pearls. You can add whatever you want. You can put a little button or a little flower. It's, again, just preference. And this too, you want to try and get as smooth as you can. Less time sanding. There we go. But I really, really like this, how it came out. I don't mean to be bragging, but I just, you know when you just have that one thing that you make and you're like, oh, I love this. Do I want to give it away? That was this. But you can, it doesn't have to be Christmas the Angel. It can be left out all year long. If it's like you give it to someone who just had a baby and it's going to go on the tree, or just someone that just wants just kind of a nice thing to be hanging around. You can hang it like on a window with a little bit of rope, not rope, but like twine that you would just kind of use to hook it onto something. You can even use a hook from like a Christmas hook. Whatever you like to do. And again, just going to flatten it down. But, you know, don't worry because you can sand it if you want. All right, so this is kind of a good way to get it the same thickness. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. Mine was wonderful. It really was nice. My grandson is 1.5 years, so he's still not into the whole present thing. He just wanted the paper off of his stuff so that he could move on to playing. All right, so I'm going to take these wings, and because I'm moving my craft room upstairs, which, by the way, I have taken over a lot of rooms. I started moving everything into my son's old bedroom, and then I decided I wanted to go in my daughter's bedroom, old bedroom, because it's a little bigger, and craft rooms should be big, just as big as you want them. I think this one was first. So then you got the glue. I recommend using the E6000 and also some hot glue so that the E6000 will keep it for a while, and the hot glue just helps it so that you can move on with your project. You're not waiting for the glue to dry. And this is the reason that I wish I knew where all my stuff was. So I'm just going to hold it and hopefully it will stick. But I really, really love this. And I have a lot of people in mind to give for gifts for them. And I really think it's just a perfect gift. Or, you know, also if you're going to someone's house for dinner and it's around Christmas, it's a great little gift to bring. But it's up to you and what you kind of like. Maybe while I'm holding that, I will be able to paint. So this is when you're going to paint over everything anyway, so you don't have to worry about like all of this that got rubbed off while I was sanding. And you can paint right over the clay while it's wet, but I can tell these wings are not sticking. And I apologize for that, but hopefully super glue will kick in. And we won't have to worry. But I made another project. I'll grab it when we're done. And I don't know if you know Sammie at Unicorn Dust Design, but every like last Tuesday of the month, she finds someone that makes something and then she puts her twist on it and then she makes a video, which is where I got the idea for what I made over there on my wall. And then while I was doing that, if you want to scroll back in my videos, I think it was 11 years ago, and I think there's other ones in there here and there. And I made all kinds of things with light bulbs. In fact, somewhere on this messy table, I do have there is a gnome that I made out of a light bulb. While I'm holding this to dry, I'll grab it. So this is him. I didn't attach his hat yet, but this is him this way. And I just think they're so cute. And I think I made one for Christmas. I made one for Easter. Just love gnomes. And there's also a girl, I don't know if anybody's familiar with her, but her YouTube channel is Patty J. Good. And she is amazing with what she makes. A lot of the gnomes. And they're beautiful. She really does amazing work. And I love just watching her. So I'm just kind of painting the back while my wings are not sticking because I feel them moving around. And I really do apologize for not having this ready to go. But he's not sticking. Or she, you know, can be a girl angel. Can also be a boy angel. All right. This here. Oh, it's a mess. Stick that there. And I'm going to hold on to it for a bit. And as you can see, this is starting to look like the yellow. And that's what, you know, it's getting there. It is kind of hard. The other thing is if you use the resin, you can pop it out now and it's moldable. So if you wanted to, if you were making something you wanted to go around a bottle, this would be the time to take it out and wrap it and hold on to it. And I'm just going to see if this will stay here by itself. No, it won't. So I'm going to try, I don't know what. Maybe I'll just lean it right there. And we'll do the same with this one. I have, so this is the full length. This is the full length of a wing. And this is where I stop it for the the light bulbs. I just pulled this off because it's way too big. It just, you can just tell that it doesn't belong. I just dropped clay in there. So I'm going to try and stick it on this one too, but I'm not sure how we're going to do that, but we shall try. The only other thing that you want to cast with the resin is, I'll show you, in this mold right here, the alphabet, and I can't remember what the name of it is, but I do the 0 for the halo. And I only did one, so only one angel is getting her halo today. So the other thing is, which way do you like the wings? So there are people that like the wings this way, but apparently that's not the correct way. So you want the rounded to come out on the top, like that. So I am going to try and glue these to my angel body. I should have, well, you know what? I sent my glue gun to my mother's house because something I made her, something fell off. So that's another reason I do not have the right and proper glue. So stick this here, put a little on the wing itself, and then we are going to stick them together. Try it here. And I really would have been more prepared, but there are people who have been requesting a couple of times to show how I made it. And I didn't want to keep waiting, but it looks like I might stop it and have my son, or I could do a part A and a part B. That might be my best way. But if anyone knows of anyone that has done a video on how to edit, and that would be really helpful to me if you'd like to share that. Got all kinds of clay stuck in here. All right, and then, like I said, the wings, it depends on if you want them spread out or if you're good with it the way that it is. So after we get this all dry, I'm going to cover up my paint. Get rid of this. And now that I have a second, I'm going to just work on this again, because you really, really, really want to do the least amount of sanding that you can do, because it's just not fun. It is not fun at all. And I'm not thrilled about having to make more resin for the halo, just because it's in that huge bottle and it really makes a mess. Well, I make a mess with it, is I guess what I should say. Alrighty, so put that there. Grab a drink while we're literally watching paint dry. Okay. Let's see how we're doing here. Oh, we're doing okay over here. And I'm just going to dry the paint a little bit. Oh, shoot, wrong one. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go find a glue gun. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to go and look for my glue gun. And I am going to call this part 1, and then I will finish it and call it part 2. So thank you very much, and I will be back a lot quicker for you than for me. Okay, so I'll be back with part 2 in a minute. Thanks.